transform your life with these powerful teachings from Mateus. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of success, happiness, and fulfillment? Look no further. In this video, we will dive into the profound teachings of Mateus and explore how his words of wisdom can ignite your journey towards personal growth and transformation. So get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered by the life-changing teachings of Mateus. Let's begin. Here are 10 powerful quotes from Mateus that will transform your life. Number 1. The most difficult decision is the decision to change. Change is often the most difficult decision to make in life. We all have habits, behaviors, and ways of thinking that are comfortable, even if they aren't good for us. It takes courage, strength, and determination to break out of our comfort zones and make the changes we know we need to make. But as the great philosopher Heraclitus once said, we can't step in the same river twice. Everything in life is constantly changing and evolving, including us. The sooner we accept this reality and embrace change, the better equipped we will be to handle whatever life throws our way. As Marcus Aurelius also wisely said, the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. By becoming comfortable with change, we can free ourselves from the chains that bind us and live a life true to our own values and beliefs. So if you're feeling stuck or unfulfilled in your life, remember that the first step to making any change is simply to decide to make that change. It may not be easy, but it will be worth it. No. 2. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. There's a beautiful quote by the 19th century English poet Alfred Lord Tennyson that says, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all." And I think that's really true when it comes to pursuing our goals and dreams. We may face setbacks and failures along the way, but as long as we keep trying, there's always hope that we'll eventually succeed. When we give up, we're essentially saying that the pain and suffering we've endured thus far wasn't worth it. And I think that's a real tragedy because every obstacle we overcome makes us stronger and wiser. So the next time you're feeling discouraged or defeated, just remember that our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. And who knows? Maybe that next try will be the one that finally leads to success. Number 3. Every moment is a new beginning. This is a profound statement that encourages us to approach each moment with a sense of possibility and optimism. It reminds us that we don't have to be burdened by the mistakes or failures of the past, nor do we need to worry about the uncertainties of the future. Instead, we can focus on the present moment and what we can do right now to move forward. This can be incredibly freeing and empowering. When we realize that every moment is a new beginning, we can let go of any shame or guilt we may be carrying from previous actions and start fresh. We can forgive ourselves for past mistakes and recommit ourselves to doing better moving forward. At the same time, we don't need to dwell on the future or worry about what may or may not happen. Instead, we can use the present moment to plan and prepare for the future, while still remaining open to unexpected opportunities that may arise. Ultimately, this quote is a reminder that we have the power to shape our lives and that each moment is an opportunity to do so. Number 4. Will and won't are 2 words that will keep you from success. These words express a lack of control and a sense of resignation rather than taking action. Will and won't limit our ability to manifest our desires and achieve our goals. They create a barrier between where we are and where we want to be. Instead, we should focus on what we can control, which is our thoughts, actions, and reactions. By concentrating on these internal factors, we can take steps towards our desired outcomes without being held back by limiting beliefs or language. One way to overcome the limitations of will and woe is to replace them with phrases that emphasize control and empowerment. For example, instead of saying, "I won't fail," say, "I will succeed." Instead of saying, "I can't do it," say, "How can I make this work?" By adopting this mindset, we can open ourselves up to a world of possibilities and increase our chances of achieving success. It is important to recognize that sometimes our unconscious beliefs and self-talk can hold us back from achieving our goals. By being aware of this and making a conscious effort to change our mindset, we can break through these barriers and create the life we desire. Number 5. The chain of events has its beginning, but it is unknown to him who is caught in the middle of it. This quote from Mateus reminds us that we are often unaware of the factors that have led us to our current circumstances. There are countless events, decisions, and circumstances that have shaped our present reality, and yet we may not realize the significance of these things until much later. This can be especially true when we find ourselves in difficult or challenging situations. It can be easy to feel overwhelmed or hopeless, believing that our problems are simply the result of bad luck or misfortune. However, this quote encourages us to take a step back and consider the bigger picture. Our current circumstances, however difficult, are the result of a chain of events that began long ago and have led us to this very moment. While we may not be able to change the past, we can choose how we respond to the present and what actions we take moving forward. By adopting this mindset, we can empower ourselves to create positive change in our lives, regardless of our current circumstances. Number 6. You never have true solitude unless you hate yourself. This quote highlights the importance of self-acceptance and the dangers of self-hatred. True solitude, according to Mateus, is not merely a physical state of being alone, but a mental and emotional one as well. When we hate ourselves, we cannot be at peace with ourselves, and this inner turmoil prevents us from experiencing genuine solitude. Instead, we are constantly seeking external validation and approval, as we are afraid to be honest with ourselves and confront our inner demons. Self-hatred can lead us to engage in destructive behaviors such as substance abuse, overspending, or harmful relationships in an attempt to numb the pain of our self-loathing. But ultimately, these behaviors only serve to make us feel worse about ourselves and prevent us from experiencing true freedom and independence. To achieve true solitude, we must first learn to love and accept ourselves, flaws and all. This is the only way we can be truly free. Number 7. Being too self-aware is a sign of great weariness. Being overly self-aware means constantly analyzing our every move and carefully monitoring our words and actions. According to Mateus, this level of hyper-awareness can be exhausting and ultimately futile. He believed that true understanding and wisdom come from within, and that forcing ourselves to conform to external expectations will only lead to frustration and dissatisfaction. When we are overly concerned with what others think of us, we lose sight of our own internal compass and allow external pressures to dictate our behavior. This can lead to feelings of anxiety, stress, and exhaustion as we try to balance the expectations of others with our own desires and needs. Instead, Mateus encouraged us to trust our instincts and follow our own path, even if it goes against societal norms and expectations. By doing so, we can free ourselves from the burden of constantly seeking external approval and live a life that is more authentic and fulfilling. Number 8. It's not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. This quote challenges conventional notions of wealth and prosperity. It suggests that true abundance is not merely about material possessions, but rather a state of contentment and gratitude for what one has. According to Mateus, it is not the scarcity of resources that makes one poor, but rather the insatiable desire for more. This can lead to a constant feeling of lack and dissatisfaction, regardless of how much one has already attained. In a society that often glorifies wealth and material possessions, this quote serves as a reminder to be grateful for what we have and to avoid the trap of always wanting more. By cultivating a sense of contentment and gratitude, we can find true prosperity in our lives regardless of our material circumstances. No. 9. A man is not idle because he is not working, but because he is seeking the right thing to work for. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of busyness for the sake of busyness. We may find ourselves working tirelessly, checking off our to-do lists, but ultimately feeling unfulfilled and even more stressed out. However, as Mateus reminds us, simply being busy is not the same as being productive or fulfilled. True success comes not from the quantity of our work, but from the quality of our efforts and the value we bring to the world. This quote encourages us to take a step back and reflect on the work we are doing and why we are doing it. Are we working simply because we feel like we have to? Or are we genuinely passionate about our work and the impact it is having on the world around us? By taking the time to clarify our purpose and find work that aligns with our values and interests, we can find greater fulfillment and success in our lives. Number 10. If you are patient, everything will work out for you. Patience is a virtue that many of us struggle with in today's fast-paced world. We often want instant gratification and are willing to put up with almost anything to get it. However, as Mateus reminds us, patience is key to achieving our goals and living a fulfilling life. When we practice patience, we are better able to control our emotions and reactions, which leads to less stress and more peace of mind. Furthermore, by being patient, we are able to see the bigger picture and make better decisions. Instead of being swayed by short-term emotions or immediate circumstances, we can take a step back and consider the long-term implications of our actions. By practicing patience, we can navigate challenges more effectively, maintain better relationships, and ultimately lead more successful and fulfilling lives. These are just a few of the many powerful teachings from Mateus that can help us live better and more meaningful lives. His words continue to resonate with people around the world and inspire them to be the best version of themselves. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.